Okay, in this tutorial we will learn about launch files, how to create one and how to use in our ROS projects. To do that, I would like you to open our tutorials and go to the launch section. And on the left hand side, I want you to open a file explorer, go to your ROS2 workspace, src, and my package, because we will create our launch file inside this directory. We are going to use terminal, but it is still nice to have it in the background to double check if we are doing the steps correctly, at this level at least. To create a launch file, you need to first open a terminal. And by the way, all the commands that I'm doing in here is very short version of what is written in here. You can definitely go to website and do the steps step by step, or do with me together, a bit shorter way, so to say. Okay, so first of all, the launch file is a little bit different than a node. That's why we will not actually, we don't want to have launch files and publishers and subscribers in the same folder. If you remember, our publisher and subscriber are inside my package and my package folder, but I want to have another folder for the launch files, and this is a common practice in the ROS environment. So to do that, I will change my directory to ROS2 workspace, inside src, inside my package. Sorry, it's a bit too much here. My package. And at the moment I'm in this location, right? If I ls here, I will see the same file and folder names here. So I will create a new folder. To do that, we have a command, make directory, make dir. And the name of the folder is gonna be launch. So we have a newly generated launch folder here. The launch file will be inside this. So if I go inside this, it is empty at the moment, and I will create a new launch file. It is a simple file, that's why we are using the touch command. Touch my launch. And the extension of this file is important. The extension will be .launch.py. I know two launches after each other might look a bit redundant, but just for the sake of this beginner exercises, let's keep it like that. Just to make sure, you can actually give any other name to the launch file, but make sure that the extension is .launch.py. Oh, I'm sorry, I actually created in the wrong place. Let's see. I forgot to change it, so my launch file is created in here. I will just take it there. So, there. Okay, so my newly created launch folder is here. I can follow the same steps as I did in my publisher and my subscriber creation in the previous tutorial, but I would like to show you another method for the launch file. It is exactly the same, but just it might be a bit easier sometimes. That's why I would like to show that method as well. We have a Visual Studio Code here, and in Visual Studio Code, you can, I had already an open file, that's not important, but if I open new folder, and normally you will be using Visual Studio Code or your IDE to change the code, that is good to have your workspace up and available on the Visual Studio Code workspace as well. So I would like you to select the ROS2 workspace src folder. And this is where your old packages are there. I want you to select this folder. I had some other files up there. Currently, I assume you have something like this. And this is my package that I have already generated. And this is my launch folder that I have just created. And inside is at the moment empty. So instead of using the touch command in my terminal, I want to create a normal regular file under this launch folder. And I want you to call it my launch.py. You can give any other name for your launch file. That's not a big issue, but make sure that your your extension .launch.py is as it is. So this is a regular launch file or regular Python file at the moment. So we need to fill the contents. I want you to copy paste this code, which is my package launch, my launch .launch.py. Copy this one and paste it. Save it. This will make our publisher and subscriber to run with just running this launch command or launch file. So we have generated a new file. We need to tell our package that we have a new file. To do that, we are doing the necessary changes in the setup.py. And my package setup.py is here. So please make sure that sometimes you accidentally open another folder, for example, like this, and they have setup files as well. Please do not confuse another package's setup file. Just make sure that you are inside my package and you are editing the setup file of my package. Okay? And the things that you need to fill is those two libraries first, as the line 2 and 3. And you also need to add this part. Okay. What this line does is adding this launch folder into, like, consider in the compilation, very simply if we need to explain it. You see, I haven't saved it yet. Control S will save my setup.py. We are good to go to compile. You can open a new terminal, or you can use the terminal inside the Visual Studio Code that opens inside src, but we know that we need to colcon build inside the workspace outside src. So I see the parent directory there and colcon build. The terminal inside the Visual Studio Code is the same as the terminal that we are using. I'm not sure if it's necessary to highlight, but as you see, we get the same process in the terminal of Visual Studio Code as well. They both are terminals. Good. After the colcon build, what we need to do is to source install setup bash. Good. So now we would like to run our launch file. For the publisher and subscriber, we were using ROS2 run because they are ROS nodes. For launch files, we are using another command, which is ROS2 launch, and the rest of the code or the rest of the command is the same. Writing the package name, my package, and the name of the executable launch, which is my launch.launch.py. So when I start this, I should see if my launch and if my publisher and subscriber is running. Yes, actually in here I can see it because I have some lines to log on the log information on the terminal. That's why I can see it. But in the next tutorial, I will show you how to see what is up and running in our ROS system.